Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome to another video. So on this episode of Let the Figs Talk, we're going to talk about new and upcoming toys and action figures. So on May 1st, Hasbro Pulse did a live stream, and if you missed that out, well, luckily I got you covered. So there was a lot of things that was discussed on the live stream. There were toy releases, Q&A, so what am I talking about? So let's get into it right now. Big Bad Toy Store has a massive selection of toys like action figures, statues, and a lot of geek stuff. So make sure to buy your toys at Big Bad Toy Store. I put a link in the description down below, so go check them out. Hey, what is going on? If you haven't seen me before, by the way, my name is Vanz, and my passion is to spark interest in toy collecting by giving tips and smarter ways to collect through online video. And on this channel, we talk about toys, action figures, and any kind of cool stuff. And if this is something that you enjoy, start now by subscribing to my channel and hit the bell so you won't miss anything. So the live stream was called Fan First Friday, specifically for Star Wars fans. It was actually conducted by Patrick, which is a senior manager, global and marketing, as well as Eric, which is the product designer. I do really think he's the one in charge of designing the action figures. So it was almost an hour live stream, and I was lucky enough to actually capture the reveals part. I didn't capture the Q&A part because I find it kind of boring. So we're gonna get a chance to watch that on this video, so let's check it out.
We're coming at you obviously from home, which is where my family has our games closet, because our first reveal for the day, get excited, it's the Child Monopoly. Eric, can you tell us all about this great new game?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's such a fun game. I grew up playing Monopoly. It was something I used to always love playing as a kid, and I still do play it today. The players move around the game board and play as a child in different poses, such as eating the frog, using the force, drinking a cup of broth, and sitting in the hover pram. And the players will buy and trade objects from the child's adventures, like that cup of broth, a frog, tracking fob, Razor Crest cockpit, and the Razor Crest storage bay, while following the actions on the cards. And of course, in true Monopoly fashion, the last player remaining after everyone else has gone bankrupt will win the game. So this is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. on Pulse and most other retailers, and it'll be on shelf later on this fall.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for telling me about that, Eric, and all of our fans out there. So fans, again, tell us what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think about this reveal and others. Alrighty, let's move on, Eric, to our next reveal. We are what could that be? Is that a doorbell? Oh my goodness, it must be a package. We have received so many packages, so exciting. Let's see what this one could be. This is me going off screen to get my package. What could it be? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. It's my pre-order shipment of the Black Series, The Child. Eric, how excited are you about this item?
I'm very, very excited. It was a lot of fun to work on.
Absolutely. This is a great item. So for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure you do, because again, this has been everywhere, we put a lot of the Child product on pre-order last December, right after the Child premiered in the show, and they're shipping now. This is the first one that I bought, I know. It's the Black Series The Child, perfectly in scale to all of the other Black Series figures. Obviously very small because the Child is very small, but it's expected to start shipping in May, and it's actually still available for pre-order at most major retailers. So fans out there, be on the lookout. If you ordered it, because it's going to be coming soon, get excited. And if you haven't ordered it yet, feel free to get on the action, head to your favorite major retailer, and check out this item. Great. Alrighty. And I will show you. Through the magic of the Pulse Triple F live stream, I actually also have an out-of-pack version. You can see it here. So small, so adorable, articulated in many different places. And it's got a great kind of little container here for all of the accessories as well. The frog, the soup broth roll, and the gear shaft. So get excited for the Black Series, the child. Now, obviously, I just said to get excited. We're excited about that product shipping next week, but we are also excited about the great Black Series figures we have coming this fall. Now, as you all know, the Black Series is one of our fan-focused expressions. 6-inch figures, highly decoed, detailed sculpts with super articulation and soft goods where appropriate. We revealed several of our Fall 20 Black Series figures a month ago in our fan celebration with fan media sites to celebrate the home entertainment release of The Rise of Skywalker. Those figures included Darth Vader, the Mandalorian for the first time in his Beskar armor, Tebow, Admiral Akbar, such great additions to the Black Series, and we have 2 more today. Eric, tell us all about these great new figures.
So, both of them are brand new sculpts of figures that we've had in the line before, figures that go all the way back to the beginning of Black Series in 2013. But it was a time to revisit them and update the sculpts with all the advancements we've made over the past several years. So, our first Black Series reveal of the day, one of the most iconic characters in Star Wars, stretching all the way back to the beginning. It's
What could it be?
a brand new Imperial Stormtrooper.
That's awesome.
So, this item comes with more part breaks in order to have cleaner deco hits in our previous versions. That was something that we really wanted to do on this character because he has so many different points of articulation and armor breaks and stuff like that. That was something that was important to us. And speaking of the articulation, that has also been really improved on this figure. So we actually have the shoulder pads attached in a slightly different way than they have been in the past, where the shoulder pads are kind of trapped within the shoulders, and they can flex easily out of the way to be able to get them into all those iconic poses that you all know and love. So this is based off of the Mandalorian Stormtrooper, which is the same as the Rogue One Stormtrooper, which we've accepted as the definitive Stormtrooper design.
That's awesome. Now, Eric, I'm seeing some numbers there on the forehead. Are we breaking Star Wars news here? Is that a new trooper design?
No, so actually, when we get in samples from our Chinese office in the factories, they print numbers directly on the forehead so that we know that which samples we're getting. So that basically this is hot off the presses. So that is why the numbers are there on the head. It's for record keeping on our end. That's
awesome. So fans, you are seeing the glamour shots, the beauty shots on the screen, but we here in our houses have the kind of early prototypes hot off the presses, like Eric said. And we're really excited about this live stream format because it gives us the chance to show you the actual product that Eric has posed out into great poses. So it's really cool. Awesome. Thanks, Eric.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem. So, for our next Black Series reveal, we have a similarly iconic character, but this one is from even further in the past, at least in the Star Wars universe. This one is a brand new clone trooper. And this one is the Kamino clone trooper figure. So he's decoed out to look like the Kamino troopers from Attack of the Clones. So this sculpt had the same mentality as the Imperial Stormtrooper, where we had different part breaks in order to have cleaner deco. We also really improved the articulation in order to get those elbows into those really iconic and action-packed poses, which was a particular pain point with our previous clone troopers. It's great to get an updated version of this figure out there, especially with Clone Wars back out right now. Season 7 has been absolutely amazing so far. Yeah. So both these figures will be available on shelf later on this fall.
That's awesome. And again, tell us what you think about these figures in the comments below. Now, obviously, we love the Black Series. That item looks awesome. Thank you, Eric. And we will have more Black Series reveals later. So if you are a fan of the Black Series, stay tuned in. But we also love our other fan-focused expression, the Vintage Collection. Now, as you all know, fans of the Vintage Collection out there, I'm sure, this is the heritage scale of Star Wars, 3 3/4 inch, also with a high level of deco and detail and super articulated. Now, we have one vintage item that we're excited to reveal today. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, we're all working from home. This is my home. I actually just moved a few weeks ago, so we're happy to be here. Working from home means that I've gotten to spend a lot more time with my son Caleb. And the figure we're going to reveal next is Caleb's favorite, because this figure is kind of hiding like Caleb likes to hide. This is a real stretch for a build-up, but that's right. It's the Vintage Collection, Luke Skywalker in his trooper disguise. Eric, tell us all about this amazing new addition to the Vintage Collection.
Yep. So, as you know, this figure originally came out last year in our convention-exclusive Luke 3-pack. But this is the first time that it's come out on the Vintage card back. As you can see, it pays homage to the past and uses the same film-out image from the Power of the Force card. So this one is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. at Pulse and most other retailers, and will be on shelf later on this fall.
Awesome. It looks great. Obviously,
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, so excited to get this into the line and on that classic Kenner card back for the first time. All right, Eric, tell us about what's going to come next.
So these items were all amazing, but as we've been talking about since New York Toy Fair 2019, this spring is all about the 40th anniversary of one of the best Star Wars movies of all time, The Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. In fact, we are now in the heart of it. The movie premiered on May 17th, 1980, so we are less than 3 weeks away from the actual anniversary day. But we're not waiting because we have some great content and product to reveal today. So to kick things off, our 40th anniversary sizzle, which we played a few times, and this might be the last time we ever play it.
Awesome. I love that sizzle. I've loved it since the first time we put it together. I said then I get goosebumps every time I see it. I might just make our family watch The Empire Strikes Back tonight, even though we watched through all the Star Wars movies just a few months ago in advance of the final movie. But it's great. So now, we obviously are going to have some 40th anniversary product reveals. But before we get to that, we wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at some new Pulse content. Now, as you know, Pulse is all about fans first. This is Fan First Friday. And we are ramping up on our Star Wars content on the Pulse in the coming months. Check out Pulse Unboxed because we're going to have a lot more content. And first up is an all-new toy timeline post. Now, some of you, I'm sure all of you, may recall our toy timelines from 2018. Those were videos. And the idea is that we have all of this great historical knowledge on the Hasbro team. Honestly, I take it for granted. I'll be sitting in meetings just with these visionaries and these great historical designers, Eric, and it's just amazing. And we realize that we want to bring some of that great historical knowledge to you all. So as a brief reminder, here are our toy timeline videos from 2018. Roll film.
The Memphis Nest swoop bike from Solo is the latest and greatest in this toy timeline, but we've actually done multiple versions of both speeders and swoop bikes. The first ever Kenner speeder bike came out in 1983 after the theatrical release of Return of the Jedi. The 90s saw the first swoop bike, inspired by Shadows of the Empire. This bark speeder was repainted several times after Revenge of the Sith, and then we updated the classic Imperial speeder bike for the Black Series. But with its unique design, incredible size, and movie-accurate details, the Memphis Nest swoop bike sets a new standard. The Black Series Darth Vader helmet is the latest addition in this toy timeline, but we didn't actually make a Vader helmet until the early 2000s. Designed using photos from the 1980 set, this version had an electronic chest box extension that played real movie phrases. The second version had that shinier Episode 3 gloss and housed all the electronics in the dome. The 2018 Black Series helmet detaches into 4 pieces, has movie-accurate sound effects, and is the first ever with a fully decorated interior. This truly delivers the complete Darth Vader experience.
That's awesome. And I will say, full disclosure here, that film was going to roll regardless of whether I said roll film or not, but I've seen that in TV shows. I've always wanted to do it, so I did it. Now, as much as we loved those videos, we obviously, as you saw, had to make them relatively short. We weren't able to include as many historical details as we wanted. So to bring even more info, we are moving the toy timeline format to blog entries, starting with our first one, which will be a fascinating behind-the-scenes historical look at our Boba Fett helmets throughout the years. So check that post out next week, May the 4th week, sometime next week on Pulse Unboxed. It's going to be great. Sitting in the meeting, hearing about the history of those helmets was amazing. So check that out. I'm sure you'll love it.
Cool. So let's move on to the next portion of the show. And
what could that be?
Did we have another package delivered?
Oh my goodness, Eric! I think that was on your end. Did you
get
it?
Was too. So I'm gonna go over here, and look, it's my pre-order of the 6.5-inch child figure.
Whoa, that's awesome. That's a little bigger than mine.
Yeah, I mean just a little bit. And
both awesome.
They are. And luckily, I also happen to have mine out of box as well.
That's magic. Yeah.
So one really cool thing about this figure is it actually has acrylic eyes with lifelike artwork inside, which brings the character's expressive face to life. It was really cool to be able to see, and it really just adds another level to this character. So this item is expected to start shipping the week of May 11th and is still available for pre-order in most major retailers. So be on the lookout for this item.
That's awesome. Can't get enough of the child.
It is adorable.
So cool. All right, let's move on to our Carbonized collection and our final reveal for our 40th anniversary Carbonized collection. Now, some of you, I keep saying some of you, I'm sure it's all of you passionate fans out there, I'm sure, recall our fall 2019 Carbonized collection with 4 great figures, the Second Sister Inquisitor, Jet Trooper, Sith Trooper, and of course, little-known character, the Mandalorian. Now, those were followed up with by our spring 2020 Carbonized collection, celebrating, of course, the Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary. We revealed the first 2 out of 3 figures in that collection a month ago at our fan celebration, Carbonized Boba Fett and the Imperial Stormtrooper, which look amazing. Those are great additions to the collection, and they're actually still available for pre-order today. They've sold fast, but there's still some available. Now, some of you have asked for some background on that collection. We launched it last fall in the middle of Triple Force Friday when a lot of stuff was launching, so we didn't have the time to give details to everything. But we have a post up on Pulse Unboxed about our Carbonized collection and the history and what differentiates it from mainline figures. So go check that out. It's a really cool read. And today, we will be revealing our 3rd and final Spring 2020 Carbonized item. Now, this item, along with Boba Fett, is actually the reason we continued the Carbonized collection this spring. Fun fact, a year ago, before the fall 2019 Carbonized collection even launched, we saw the first prototypes, and they were stunning. And so we said to ourselves that it was too bad the Carbonized collection didn't exist years ago, because it would be amazing to see characters like Boba Fett and this next reveal in that style. And then we said, well, hey, we're Hasbro. We make these figures. We make these lines. You guys love the Carbonized collection. Why don't we bring it into the spring of 2020 for the Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary? So we did. And so without further ado, our final Carbonized figure in the Empire Strikes Back 40th collection, it's Darth Vader Carbonized. Oh, yes.
It looks really, really cool. And it looks better in person. And so one big thing that we realized with this figure when carbonizing Darth Vader, all in metallic black, wasn't all that different from his mainline version. So comparing the metallic black to the glossy black, it just wasn't that big of a difference. So we really wanted to give this a bit of a different look. So we went back to Ralph McQuarrie's early concept images, many of which gave Darth Vader kind of a blue hue to him. So we took inspiration from that in executing this carbonized Darth Vader, and we basically shifted all the colors to be more blue hinted, more taking inspiration from that Ralph McQuarrie concept images. So we shifted the soft goods, all the silver hits, all to have that blue hue, and it looks really striking, especially when he's next to Darth Vader. It just looks really, really cool. So this is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. exclusively at Amazon, and it's on shelf later on this summer.
That's awesome. And I will say, now you may have noticed out there that me as the marketer, I revealed the game and the Impact Vintage figure. So the team didn't trust me with a ton of articulated figures. But I will say, I posed this out all by myself, which is not as good as Eric could have done it. But I think, I don't know, I think I represented myself pretty well there. So
No, you did really well. And
it stands up on its own, which is great. Standing up right there. All righty, on to our next item. Oh my goodness, what could that be? Is that another doorbell? Eric, I think that's me.
I think it is too.
Is it my order of brownie mix, or my goodness, the holy grail? Is it toilet paper? It's something even better. It's the child talking plush. Look at that. And again, through the magic of the Pulse Triple F live stream, I also have an out-of-box version. This character is honestly my favorite of the ones that we revealed last December and went on pre-order. It's adorable. As you can see on the images there, the reveal images, so cute. It's fully plush, totally cuddleable, makes these adorable sounds that you can hear. Oh, so cute. So this one is also going to be shipping in May. Basically, shipping trucks around the country and around the world will be stocked to the gills with all of these different the child items. So this guy still available for pre-order at most major retailers, and as you can see, also comes with a soup broth bowl and the frog. So be on the lookout if you ordered it. You're going to get it soon. If you haven't had the opportunity yet, check it out for pre-order now. You can still get it. Alrighty. The child excitement continues, but our next item is also continuing a collection that we started in the past few years. Now, last year, one of our convention exclusives kicked off our Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary collection. It was Boba Fett in 6-inch scale on a Kenner card back for the first time. You can see it on your screens now. It's beautiful. For the first time in 6-inch scale in his Kenner-inspired deco. Now, honestly, when we came up with the idea for that item, we thought it would be fun. But when we first saw it last spring for the first time, we were blown away by how cool it looked, as you can see on your screens. So, of course, the gears at Hasbro start turning. Our design team starts cooking stuff up, and they came up with the idea for the following item. Eric, tell us all about it.
Yep. So our last item that we're revealing today in our Black Series 6-inch Empire Strikes Back 40th Anniversary Collection, and the continuation of our Kenner Deco collection, is not just one, but 2 items in a 2-pack. It's Orlum and Zuckuss.
That's awesome.
So, now, of course, as mentioned, you can see that these figures are done in their original Kenner-inspired deco, which looks great on these figures. We still wanted to maintain the same level of deco that you've come to expect for the Black Series, so we went about to execute the figures in to Black Series standards, but with the original Kenner deco. We wanted to imagine what these characters may have looked like in the movie versions if they were in those Kenner deco colors. But it also gave us a chance to get these 2 2018 bounty hunters back out there. But newer collectors might be wondering why we packaged these 2 particular figures together. Apart from them being super cool Empire Strikes Back bounty hunters. Fun fact, these 2 characters will forever be linked because their original Kenner release saw them actually with switched names. So Zuckuss was Forlum and Forlum was Zuckuss, which wasn't corrected for many years. So we have paid homage to that with this set and tried to match the original pack as closely as possible. And it's available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. exclusively at Amazon, and it'll be on shelf later this summer.
That's awesome. So cool. So jealous that you got to reveal that item, Eric.
Yeah, no, they're really awesome. They're really cool.
All right. We got to keep this show rolling. We have so much more to talk about. So it's time to move on to our next item. Now, we started doing Black Series 6-inch figures on Kenner-inspired card backs in 2017, 3 years ago, for the 40th anniversary of A New Hope, the collection that you're seeing on your screens right now. And then, as we revealed at New York Toy Fair a couple of months ago, we're continuing this collection this year for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. You can see them there. They're starting to flow into stores right now. Now, back in 2017, there were characters that weren't quite right for the mainline assortment, but they made great exclusives. And the same is true this year, for example, that great 2-pack that Eric just revealed. Now, obviously, your Star Wars history there, there's a main character in the original trilogy who's kind of key in tying together Empire Strikes Back, the end of Empire, to beginning of Return of the Jedi. That character is our next reveal. That's right, on a Kenner-inspired card back for the first time, it's Han Solo in Carbonite on a card back. Looks amazing. Eric, tell us all about this great new addition to the line.
Yeah. So one thing we really wanted to do with this figure in particular is because it's seen in multiple poses, it's upright and on its side. We actually, this figure actually comes with a stand to show off the product in either standing upright or hovering, as we saw in Empire Strikes Back when he was being pulled into the Slave One by Boba Fett. So it looks really cool to be able to have this in those different poses and to be able to kind of play out those different scenes. This is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. Exclusively at Amazon. It'll be on shelf later on this summer.
Absolutely. And I have the out-of-pack version here as well that you can see. So there's the stand right there and the other stand that puts it in its floating. And I will just note, again, a non-articulated figure. So we definitely allocated them to the right people. Okay, let's keep the party rolling. Now, some of you may recall our Fans' Choice poll at 2019 New York Toy Fair, where you, the fans, chose a new member of our Black Series line to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. You all spoke and chose Luke Skywalker in his Dagobah outfit as the newest member of the Black Series line. You're seeing the image there. Now, we were really excited about that item, and we immediately began work on it. And we gave you a preview of that work at SDCC last year. But as we continued work, there was just something that we couldn't quite shake about the image that you voted on and that you're seeing right now.
So, yeah, as Patrick mentioned, as we were creating the figure, we noticed that there is something missing, which is why we're excited to reveal today the Black Series Luke and Yoda 2-pack.
My goodness. That's awesome. I could not have posted out like that.
So, honestly, we realized that you can't really have Luke without Yoda that can fit in his backpack. So we tooled up a brand new Yoda for this purpose. All of our previous Yodas were actually a little bit out of scale, so this is our first Black Series Yoda that is perfectly in scale with the rest of the line. It comes complete with an alternate head to recreate all the scenes on Dagobah for Yoda. And then finally, a true engineering feat. Luke comes with alternate hands, and you can actually, with some effort, recreate Luke in his handstand pose.
Wait, what? What? What am I looking at? Clearly, Eric, there must be some glue or wax involved there.
No, so actually that was something that we really wanted to do with this particular figure, was to make sure that when we took this photo, it was him completely unassisted. This was something that we tried to do at every single stage of development. Every single sample we got in, we tried to make sure that he could get into this handstand pose. So that is him completely unassisted without glue or wax.
Wow, that's awesome. I was a math major in college, and I'm still not fully understanding the angles and how you guys made that work. So I will be breaking no news here to say that I did not pose out that figure for that photo reveal that you saw just there. Clearly beyond my abilities.
So this one is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. at most major retailers, and it'll be on shelf later on this fall.
Awesome. Very cool.
So let's move on to our next product reveal. And
what could that be? What could that be? This bit might be getting old, our fourth time into it, but hopefully not. Fans, tell us what you think about this bit in the comments below.
Yeah. So, look, it's my pre-order shipment of the Child Bounty Collection.
Couldn't have guessed it.
Yeah, so who would have guessed we all got these deliveries during the live stream? It was crazy.
That's amazing.
So, I also happen to have these out of pack as well, and they are just adorable looking things. So they all come in 2-packs, and the team did a phenomenal job of styling these characters. They all are super adorable. So these items are expected to start shipping the week of May 25th and are still available for pre-order at most major retailers, so be on the lookout. I mean, look how cute those are.
That's awesome. I'm a little jealous you got to reveal those and now get to keep them in your home for the next.
Yeah, no, they will always have a special place on my shelf. They're awesome.
That's awesome. Okay, fans, tell us what you think about that little bit. But now it's time for our final 40th anniversary product reveal and our final reveal of this product reveal. We have more news, but final product reveal of this live stream. And we have a special guest who's going to help us reveal it. Now, for those of you who are fortunate enough to be able to continue doing your jobs from home, you'll know that there are some benefits as well, like having your family with you all day long. We already talked about my son Caleb. Well, we will be helped in our next reveal by my very loving and patient wife, Kate. She will be wearing our next reveal because it's the next in our line of role-play helmets. We started in 2015 with our Kylo Ren helmet and continued throughout the years. She's wishing I would just get on with it at this point. We continued throughout the years with the Imperial Stormtrooper, Poe Dameron, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, many trooper variations, and then, as we saw earlier on the show, our Boba Fett helmet. Well, that brings us to our next reveal, sported by my wife, Kate. I'm never going to hear the end of this. It's, Kate, the Boba Fett prototype armor helmet. It looks amazing. Eric, tell us what Kate is wearing on her head.
So now, obviously, most of you know the history of this look for Boba Fett. This is based off of the original 1978 Joe Johnston concept design for the Super Trooper. So as soon as we knew we were going to be doing a Boba Fett helmet for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, we knew we had to do this helmet as well. So we constructed to match a conceptual version of the armor, originally cast in all white for the test footage. And to best match the concept, we tooled a bare dome for the helmet, absent the iconic dent in the front. So the interior is treated in a slightly different color palette to further differentiate the two helmets. As is the case with mainline helmets, this helmet comes fully loaded with an articulated rangefinder and illuminated heads-up display.
And it's really comfortable, right, honey?
So comfortable.
You can see the articulated rangefinder right here and the heads-up display. Can you track your prey, Kate?
I can.
That's awesome. All right, Eric, tell us where all of the fans and their loving wives out there can get this item.
So this is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. exclusively on Pulse and other fan channel accounts, and it'll be on shelf later this summer.
That's awesome. I will also say we had to put my son down to bed early because it's just such a striking helmet. He was a little scared to see mommy's face disappear and that helmet come on. All right, I owe my wife big. Okay, that's it for our reveals today. But stick with us because we have two really important pieces of news that I guarantee you won't want to miss, and we also have a Q&A section. Okay, the first piece of news. Now, many of you are familiar with our archive collection. This is our greatest hits line that elevates our best and most popular figures in the Black Series history to our Hall of Fame, or what we call the archive. We began that line last year, and honestly, we got great feedback from you all online, at conventions, and in the form of sales. It was great to get bounty hunters you're seeing like Bosk and IG-88, heroes like Yoda and Luke Skywalker, villains like Darth Maul and the Scout Trooper, and of course, heroes/villains, spoiler alert, for those who haven't seen the movie, like Anakin Skywalker, back in circulation, and updated where applicable by Photoreal Deco. Now in 2020, the 40th anniversary collection basically serves that same purpose, so we rested the archive for this year. But we are excited to announce that it's coming back in 2021, but that's not the most exciting piece of news. As we started to discuss the line for 2021, we realized that, again, these are the greatest hits, the best figures. And who better to help us determine what the best figures are than you, the fans? Which is why we are excited to announce our next Fans' Choice poll to choose a figure for the Fall 2021 archive line. You, the fans, will have a chance to choose the figure that's your favorite to come back to the line and be updated with Photoreal Deco if applicable. Now, as we've done in past Fans' Choice polls, the first round of voting will take place on some of our favorite fan media partners, so go check them out and cast your votes. And then the final round of voting will take place here on the Pulse starting May 15th, so check back then. Make sure you participate. We want to hear which figure you want. We're going to put that figure in the line. And again, tell us what you think about all of this in the comments down below.
Cool. So, the next piece of news, we've loved being here with you today, celebrating Star Wars Day and sharing some new product. But this is just the start of the May the 4th weekend. There's much more to come. We have the next reveals in our new and already popular gaming grades line coming Monday from GameStop, so tune in on Monday for that. Entertainment Earth is doing awesome social media challenges around Star Wars the next 2 weeks, so head on over to Entertainment Earth on May the 4th. And that's just the start of the fun with exciting content coming on Disney Plus. As recently announced, Disney Gallery The Mandalorian, which provides a making of look at the show, and that premieres on Monday on Disney Plus. The Clone Wars season finale also streams on Monday, so definitely tune in for that. The Rise of Skywalker, the conclusion of the the Rise of Skywalker, the conclusion of the Skywalker saga also comes to Disney Plus on May the 4th. I'm so excited to be able to watch it again.
So much stuff to do. I wish that May the 4th was an official holiday so I could just stream all that content. That's awesome. All righty. Final segment of the show, news on upcoming Q&As. Now, we are really excited about this. We always tell the fans that we're listening and we want to hear your feedback, but we realize that this isn't really all that.
All right, so that's what the live stream is all about. As you watched a while ago, there's a lot of reveals, a lot of action figures to come. They did even mention about better articulation, which is something that I'm looking forward to. I think they did mention about getting a better mold. So I'm not really sure if what makes the articulation better is them designing a better mold, or basically just making a better joint to make the articulation better. So that is something that I'm looking forward to with the new Black Series, new action figures that they are now releasing. And as soon as I acquire one, I will definitely check them out. And also, I was kind of disappointed with the vintage collection line, which is actually my main collection. There was a lot of release, but they only showed just one figure, and I was kind of disappointed, but that's just how it is. That is something that we can do nothing about. The releases are more in the Black Series 6-inch line. For the 3-inch figure, we have the Stormtrooper disguise Luke Skywalker, which is actually cool, but they could have at least added 2 or more, right? I'm very excited about Dagobah look with Yoda because the articulation in that, I was looking at the pictures and it looks really nice. So again, they did mention about the articulation on the live stream, and upon looking Luke Skywalker in Dagobah, I was looking at his wrist. It was really flexed, so it doesn't look like they did use a hinge on that. So I was thinking maybe they did also use better joints for their action figures. So I was guessing it could have been a ball joint on the wrist, which is actually cool. So again, if they improved the mold and they did use better joints for their figures, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a huge change on their figures and it will be much better. So again, I'm looking forward to that. By the way, the vintage collection, the Black Series look Dagobah with Yoda, and the Boba Fett helmet. I'm not a helmet collector, but if you are, all these 3 are available for pre-order at the Big Bad Toy Store, and I put the link in the description down below, so go check them out. Also, there are other releases, especially in the Black Series line. The Carbonized Darth Vader is insane. It is really nice. I'm glad that they did a blue finish, which is something that I did have, but it wasn't a 3 1/4 inch figure, the blue Darth Vader, and they did that on the 6-inch line, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But these are Amazon exclusives that was released together with the Forlom and the Zuckuss 40th anniversary Emperor Strikes Back, and the Han Solo in Carbonite. So all these figures, I mean, only exclusive for Amazon. Unfortunately, when I did check on it, as far as I can remember, I was there at 1:30, so I'm not really sure if they released that, and it got sold out real quick, because when I was about to check on it, exactly 1:30, it was all gone. It did said temporarily out of stock, so I'm not really sure. I was thinking, I have this impression that it might have, maybe they haven't released it yet, so I have to wait a couple of minutes. But 2 o'clock came, 2:30 came, it's still the same, temporarily out of stock. So I guess I may have missed on those figures, on those Amazon exclusives, and it kind of sucks. So, but I do hope to release that in those figures in the future, and that would really be awesome, because the Carbonized Darth Vader looks really great for me. By just looking at it, it is a collector figure. right? But I was just kind of disappointed with the box, because if you're gonna compare this with the Carbonized Boba Fett, they were able to incorporate the colors of the figure itself into the box, which is really nice, as well as the Stormtrooper. So I'm very lucky enough to be able to pre-order that at Big Bad Toy Store. They incorporate the colors of the figure itself into the box, and that's why it looks really nice. But on the Darth Vader, it was just plain black, and it was kind of disappointing, because they should have incorporated the color of the figure, which is blue, onto the box. That would have been better. So those were the releases, awesome releases by Hasbro, and I'm very excited with it. Again, it sucks that I missed on the Amazon exclusives, but I'm pretty sure they'll be available in the future. And again, the TVC, the Vintage Collection look, Stormtrooper disguise, the Yoda Dagobah with Luke Skywalker, and the Boba Fett helmet, they're available for pre-order right now at Big Bad Toy Store. So again, the link is on the description. Go check them out. And I do think that's it. So I'd like to thank you guys for being here and for watching. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And if you already did, make sure to hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated with future videos. Again, I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.